The third myofilament is the elastic filament. These are a springy protein called titin, and there's no contraction in it. It's more of an anchoring type filament. It runs through the core of the actin filament, the thin filament, to anchor it to what we call a Z disc and an M line. And this is going to help hold those myofilaments in place so that when they are contracting, then they're stabilized and pulling the muscle in the right direction for contraction. So at the end of each of these, you have actin attached to these Z discs. And then in between, you have these myosin filaments with the heads, just as we saw in the previous slide. And I drew that one wrong, sorry. So we have myosin, 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 and we have these Z discs that are holding the actin filaments in place. So these elastic filaments are going to be here in the core, connecting the actin to the Z disc. There is also an M line in the middle, and this M line you don't really see it in the micrographs, but it's there, and titin will also help anchor those actin filaments to the middle. So you've got actin here at the Z disc being bound by titin and then to the M line in the middle. This is going to help stabilize the actin and in some cases the myosin, and it helps prevent overstretching and helps keep these in correct position. There are other proteins that are associated with these myofilaments to help with anchoring and aligning. We're not going to learn about all of them, but one in particular is dystrophin. Dystrophin is going to help link the actin, that thin filament, in the outermost myofilaments to the membranes. So remember, we've got all these fascicles that have all these myofibrils in them, and each myofibril has all of these contractile proteins or these myofilaments. And so those myofilaments need to be stabilized or connected to the endomysium within the fascicles so that when contraction occurs, it is pulling that tissue together. And so we do that. Basically, dystrophin will be holding the myofilaments on the outer part of one of these contractile units to the endomysium. So it's going to help keep them connected to the outer part. This is also going to help transfer the force that comes from that muscle contraction to the connective tissue the tension is going to continue, or the force is going to continue all the way up to the tendon. Once you have all of these contractile fibers and sarcomeres contracting across the length of a muscle, all of that force is going to be carried through to the tendon. There are pathologies involving dystrophin. In some instances, you will have individuals that may have a genetic mutation in their dystrophin production, and that actually leads to what we know as muscular dystrophy. So there are many types of muscular dystrophy. In this particular type of muscular dystrophy in which the dystrophin is damaged or not produced correctly, you can have some of those symptoms of a non-correctly formed muscle tissue and the inability to use the muscles properly.